Some say the rise of the Apple Watch has sent the world of traditional wristwatches into a frenzy, but I say otherwise. Yes, it's true that the Apple Watch has been outselling the luxury and wider watch market to a substantial degree, but there is a silver lining to this which I'll discuss in today's video. So if you want to know, like this video and subscribe down below. The overall reason why I believe the Apple Watch is crucial to the watch industry is that more people than ever are wearing timepieces in general. There are a variety of reasons for this argument which will be discussed today. Firstly, the Apple Watch acts as a gateway drug for the watch addiction that we are all infected with. In simpler terms, once you have an Apple Watch, it will most likely lead you into buying other watches as well. This has been the case as in the past years, more niche and exclusive luxury brands have become popular as the market for watches has increased. The NPD marketing group has a great report where they provide evidence that more people in general are wearing traditional wristwatches. Because since 2015, people of all ages have said that they would wear a watch today and has grown exponentially with the younger crowd. Out of a group of 18 to 34 year olds, 20% say their favourite type of wristwatches are smart ones. This means the quartz and mechanical watch industry has been potentially exposed to an audience increase of 20% for people who now like wearing watches. It's not just the Apple Watch itself, the growth of all types of smartwatches has boomed due to the new age of people becoming more concerned about their health. These people before then would most likely not go out and pick a quartz or mechanical piece for exercising, but would prefer one which has a wider range of more practical features such as GPS and heart rate monitors. This is evident as Medium.com suggests that 53% of millennials and younger people prioritize health and fitness as their number one goal in life. It is the genius of the smartwatch companies and Apple as they market the product to appear as a fitness device but still offer the illusion of a timekeeping device as well. I say this because in the purest of terms, these type of watches aren't really watches as they act as an iPhone on your wrist. The fact is that there is no proper resemblance to a watch and it doesn't have the same refinement as a quality timepiece offers. But hey, at the end of the day, it still tells the time on your wrist. Now, the beauty of this is once they become more comfortable wearing a watch on their wrist whilst exercising, they now look for a more sophisticated and traditional watch to pair with their outfit or when they dress up on a social occasion. This brings me to another large factor, which is that this world of marketing has led to people wanting to show off luxury accessories and brag about their choice of fashion. Once they wear the Apple Watch, which is a status symbol of its own, they would want to dive into a more expensive and desirable wristwatch. The luxury Swiss market in particular has been booming as they have capitalized on the fact that society wants watches as a symbol of wealth or as a flexing piece. We have seen this as ultra-luxury brands such as Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet have seen huge growth thanks to the influence from rap and their mega high asking prices. Rolex have been a hyper brand for decades upon decades, yet these houses of Swiss high horology have only been exposed into the mainstream culture in the past 5 to 10 years. This is thanks to a growing market from those who originally wear smartwatches, as NPD's report once again states that an additional 13% of these people identified with more sophisticated and luxury watches as their primary timepiece of choice. This is a good sign for the traditional watch industry as a new future of luxury-loving millennials are diving into this world. They may not buy it for the right reasons ethically speaking, but at least these companies will stay afloat for those who really appreciate the craftsmanship and detail of luxury watches. The main market for the Apple Watch consists of millennials and younger people who have a new desire for nostalgic and throwback fashion. We can see this as today's culture heavily relies on clothing and accessories from the 70s, 80s and 90s. This leads to an audience also wanting retro-looking timepieces. A great example of this is the Casio A168 series, which was established back in the 80s but has been exposed to a new resurgence. I am guilty of this too, as I own the Casio A163W599, which has the retro look and is currently in fashion. Additionally, they are quite cheap as well, which matches with the current trend of fast and thrift fashion. Someone who had owned an Apple Watch but also wants a cool gold watch to match their jewellery would go for one of these Casios. But an example from the Swiss watch industry is that Tissot have also been throwing the 80s back at the consumer base with the release of their PRX model. this piece has been heavily marketed as an 80s style watch with the campaign and design. So the Swiss industry has started to see this and are acting on this trend, yet the more luxury markets have been less hesitant to do so. However, with this recent growth and influence from those who have Apple Watches, the watch industry cannot be complacent and must find other ways to market towards this audience. Brands like Tag Heuer, Montblanc and Frédéric Constant, which are on the more luxury side of the watches, have been innovating with the introduction of their latest renditions of hybrid and smart watches in order to compete with Apple and others. The watch purists out there are not a big fan of these propositions, but the new market does appreciate this and they are selling fairly well. Back in the 1970s, when the quartz crisis hit, the luxury brands were freaking out against this new threat from brands like Seiko and their quartz models. But in the end, they managed to adapt and survive, with brands such as Rolex releasing their Oyster Quartz models and Cartier introducing the quartz versions of their iconic Tank line. Additionally, the Apple Watch has only been around for 5 years, yet brands like Blancpain and other Swiss luxury watchmakers have been around since the early 1700s, so I don't think they will be going out of business anytime soon. But who knows, maybe Apple will dive into more luxury pieces, which would send the industry into a frenzy. Overall, many may say that the booming sales of Apple Watches has killed the traditional watch industry, but I say otherwise. Click the videos on the screen right now to see more content relating Apple Watches and other luxury timepieces. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this type of content and press the like button if you thought the video was informative. Thanks for watching and see you later.